In this video, I want to break down some of the tools I use to become more productive, accomplish more, and most importantly, make more money and accomplish all the goals, right? A lot of times people say stuff to me like, oh, Brandon, you've accomplished so much. You made so much money. You're in amazing shape. You look like the Oscar statue and you balling and shot calling and flexing on us all the time. How do you do it? How can I do it? And a lot of times I just laugh because I'm like, motherfucker, you could never be like me, you know? And the reason why is because they haven't learned the stuff I'm about to teach you. If you do this stuff and use these tools that I'm going to share with you, I promise you, you'll be way more productive. You'll be able to take your life to the next level. You'll accomplish more in the next 90 days than maybe you did in the last 5 years. And that's not an exaggeration. That is not exaggeration at all. Because most of you guys, your lives are a fucking mess. It's all over the place. They say that people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. It looks like you guys have mastered failing up until this point because you haven't mastered planning. And I'm gonna give you some tools to help you do that so you can accomplish more, get in better shape, make more money, flex on the haters, and stun on the hoes. All right, so let's get into it. Some of the tools that we are going to use to help facilitate that. So the very first one is Google Calendar. Let me show you my calendar. So I try to plan pretty much every hour each day. All right, so this is what my weekly calendar looks like. And I live out of this thing. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys how you can set this up. You can see I'm sleep 9:30, wake up at 4:30. I know, gangster, right? Then I'm meditation in the morning. Then I practice. I can't really tell you what I'm practicing, but it's some skills that I'm trying to develop. But you got to make it for you, right? Practice. Then, you know, cold shower, shave, all this stuff. Then I go on a morning walk pretty much every morning. That's like my cardio. And it's you know, I like to go outside, walk along the ocean. Sometimes the dolphins come through. They say, what's up? Dolphins, manatees, other wildlife. They come show me love in the morning. It's pretty dope. And then I do the first workout. Then I eat sardines, right? Because they're delicious and nutritious, right? Then I do my accounting for the business. I still do the accounting for my business. I trade stocks and then I leave this time open. I'll have this day planned by the time it comes, right? But these are the recurring tasks. And basically, like my whole shit is planned out. Like my whole shit is planned out. The night before, there will be no white space on this. You know what I'm saying? Like it will be legit planned out all the way up until like, you know, every workout, everything I got to do, all my meetings, FaceTime my son, blah, 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 prep for bed, then go to sleep. You can see these are recurring tasks. This is Victory Talk podcast. Like now we in it. And basically I have the whole week planned out with the recurring tasks. I have my morning tasks, and it's so important that you live out of your calendar. Like most people, they have no idea what they're going to do aside from go to work, or they don't plan out their days. They don't plan out their weeks. They don't plan out their months. When you start living out your calendar, this is the cheat code to life. Actually, like planning your time. Like when you actually start planning your time, it's a cheat code. Because what's going to happen is you'll be able to squeeze more life out of each day. Every time I coach someone and they start using their calendar and living out of it, they start to be amazed at how much time they were wasting up until this point, you know? And I don't want you guys to live like that. I want you to start using your calendar to plan stuff, right? Planning your whole fucking life out of your calendar. Without this, I'm nothing. Like there's no way I would accomplish what I have accomplished. There's no way I would be where I'm at. There's no way I would have been able to build the businesses, basically anything without Google Calendar. Right? And it's the only calendar you should use, right? Don't use any other ones. Google Calendar is the one. It syncs up with your iPhone. Like don't even use the Apple Calendar, bro. You can sync it if you want, but just download the Google Calendar app. It's perfect. And the beauty of this is I have white space open like during the week, right? Now, one of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to fill it up or my girlfriend will fill it up with stuff. If she's allowed to go in here and plan stuff for us and put it in the calendar. People on my team are allowed to plan stuff for us if they see white space, and they can actually move a lot of this stuff. They can move everything that's not red, right? So the red stuff can't be moved. Like these are things that have to, but they need to put some here. They're allowed to move a workout. They're allowed to move the time I call my mom. They're allowed to move the stuff that's not purple. They're allowed to move it around if they need to. I prefer they didn't, but they're allowed to, right? And we have them do it way in advance. So my whole shit is planned out, you know, and you have to be strict with it though. The difficulty is, you know, where the discipline comes. For example, like my homie, Mike Rashid, he called me the other day. He was like, yo, I just landed in Miami, man. You work out today? I was like, yeah, man, I worked out. Yeah, bro. fucking 4 a.m., 5 a.m. or whatever it says here. What time is this? Yeah, man, at fucking 7:30, bro. And he'll call me like in the middle of the day, but like it'll be shit going on. I'm like, nah, man, I can't do it. It is that you have to be more rigid as far as planning stuff in advance. But once you get in the habit of doing that, and then the people around you will either conform or leave your life. And that's what's up. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. Next tool you want to be using is Trello. Trello is a tool I use and my team uses. So we use it a few different ways. One, can I show them the video board? So my whole team here, we have this video board, where we plan out our videos, right? So we have 2 editors and they're both working on it. So this is stuff that Harry's working on, this stuff Nima's working on. And then when they have it here, I review it, then it's approved, boom, and then it's published. You might be watching this video on here. No, it's not up yet because we filming it now, right? But you'll see like all the old videos that we posted. Boom. And then we go back and see how they performed, the variables on it. This is how we focused that with the team. But now I set up a board where's my goals for the year, right? Or goals for the year, or 3 months, certain time. So I moved them all off screen because I don't want you guys over here, because I don't want you guys to see what I'm working on, because I don't fucking know you motherfuckers, right? But what happens is you can see some of the goals that I have accomplished for the year, right? So boom. Moved to Miami, moved my girlfriend to Miami. I edited her name out because you don't want people to know her name. Make over 100K per month personal income, million YouTube subscribers, get HTT, that's one of my businesses, to 500K per month. The Richard Mille watch, get my girlfriend fucking Rolex, got her a Rolex for balance. Like, so I just have all my goals here. But how they start, you can create these sections in Trello. And what I do, so these are the goals I'm planning. I moved them off screen so it would look like this. Let's say I have a goal like, this is just a pretend goal. This is not something I really want to do, right? Just the first thing I can think of, right? Let's say that's a goal I have, right? And and then what I'll do is, right? So this is it's in the planning stage, right? And then when I go make the plan, I move it to another board. 4 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, next week, this week, tomorrow, and today. The today one is the most important. So I have like the stuff I want to do today, right? You see this is the only thing left. Then I move it to like in progress. So the things that are in progress now is obviously the podcast. I'm fucking doing it right now. I have to do some accounting right after this, and then I have to run payroll for one of my businesses. Cool. No problem. That's only gonna take a minute. And then this is like all the shit I did today, right? You know, so when it's done, I move it over here. Boom. But until then, it's here. And I keep a running list of shit I got to do. And then I got the shit I need to do tomorrow. I got to get an Airbnb for my nephew. I got to buy tickets for Drake. I got 50 Cent tickets. I got to text a nigga named Clark. I got to do this Google shit. So every time there's something I think of I got to do. You know, you ever had these things where, oh, I forgot to do the fucking thing, right? That don't really happen to me that much. I'll just put it in here. You know what I'm saying? For example, do the fucking thing. And I know that's something on my list for tomorrow, or like maybe I got to do it this week, right? And this stuff will get moved here, right? Because the homie Fresh from Fresh and Fit, he's supposed to get on the podcast, so tomorrow I'll probably move that over here. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me fucking up my shit, right? And then, you know, I got stuff for next week. A lot of this stuff's gonna get moved to next week. No problem, right? Then I got 2 weeks. I moved some of this stuff out here just because y'all don't see what I'm working on. But I'm thinking like 4 weeks out. So the task for fucking your mama, right? I'll put it like, or like, I'll write out everything that has to be done. Fuck that bitch. And then I'll plan out when I'm going to do it, right? When I'm going to do each task. As we get closer, we keep moving it over here. Boom. And then the stuff. So tomorrow, right? Here's what it gets beautiful. I got to book the podcast with Fresh tomorrow. Then I go into Google Calendar, and if this was the day, kind of when I'm going to do it. This is where people fuck up. They make a plan, but they don't put when they're going to do it. So let's say this was tomorrow. It's not, but let's just say it was. It was like, hit up Fresh or Victory Talk. Boom. And that's only going to take what? Fucking 15 minutes to text them, right? Boom. But I put it in here, right? So now everything from this list goes in to Google Calendar, right? That's what, and it gets filled up with the white space in the times that it's not, that I don't have recurring stuff. Because, right, what you see, this is, I'm like 2 weeks ahead when I'm showing you. So this is just all recurring stuff. But the stuff from the plans, they're usually not recurring things. So they're going to get put into these white spaces. I hope this is making sense. Once we get to the point where it's like, let's say I plan out all the steps to fucking your mama, right? Then I move that, okay, it's planned. but that doesn't mean it's in progress yet for me, right? Once the first step is in the calendar, then it's like, okay, now it's in progress. And we'll just keep it here until this bitch has the best day of her life. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, this is a joke. I wouldn't fuck your mama with my worst enemy's dick. But that's the second tool you need. Google Calendar. You see this? I mean, so it's Trello. You see how this shit is super, like, it gets like more sophisticated. You know? The next tool you need to be more productive is Notion. So Notion is something I use to do a lot of my planning. And one of the main ways I use it is I set up a habit tracker in here. When you set up a goal, there's usually two types of tasks that you're gonna have to do when you're planning on a goal. You're gonna have recurring tasks, and you're gonna have one-time tasks. For example, if your goal is to build 10 pounds of muscle, right? A one-time task would be get gym membership, right? Or hire a coach. So an example of a recurring task would be work out X amount of days per week, track macros every day, you know, get 7 hours of sleep, whatever. The success in life comes from the recurring tasks. And it's super important that you track it. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. What I do is I use Notion and I set up just a simple habit tracker. They have actually templates in Notion for free and you just edit them. I'm gonna show you one from August of last year, just because I don't want you guys to know the shit that I'm up to now, right? Because it's a secret. I set up certain things to track and I track them every day, right? So I track, all right, did I work out today? Boom. Did I meditate? I meditate twice a day, 20 minutes each session. Track my macros, 7 hours of sleep. That's the next thing we're gonna talk about, mint.com, right? But I track all my finances in mint.com. Basically every dollar spent, every fucking cent spent, and every dollar that comes in, boom. And I just categorize in mint.com, do that every day. Flex pitch, I can't tell you what it is, but it's something that's made me a lot of money. Practicing Spanish, we're gonna come back to that. Studying, I gotta study 60 to 90 minutes a day. Work on content, because that's, you know, gotta do it every day if you wanna be a fucking, if you want to be a social media maverick like me, right? Have 1 million followers on how many social medias is it now? Okay. We know it's YouTube. We know it's Instagram. We know it's Facebook. About 300,000 on TikTok. And the TikTok's the newest one. It's like, you know, that kind of shit don't happen on accident, motherfucker, right? Time with my girlfriend, mi novia mucho caliente. So I track, you know, I want us to have a loving, successful relationship. So I track all this shit. And then what it does is it adds it up, right? So the percentage of days I hit these numbers, right? So let's look at it. Boom. I worked out for this month. I worked out 87% of the time. That's not bad at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you like some rest days. I kind of just rest when life makes me. And, you know, if sometimes life gets in the way, or you just need it, right? So I didn't rest. I didn't work out 100% of the days. That's fine. I meditated in the morning 96% of the time. That's what's up. I meditated in the PM 81% of the time. That's what, you know what I'm saying? You do that, you're gonna be cool, super calm, collective like me. This is why I'm so much cooler than you, right? Tracking my macros 100% of the time. You know I don't fuck around with that. If you're not tracking, you slacking. Actually tracking my macros and calories every day. We're gonna get back to that, but this is like super important. Tracking the amount of time I sleep each night. Boom. Did I get at least 7 hours? Right? Okay, cool. I did it 75% of the time. Not bad. Tracking the money in mint.com. Did that almost every day. Boom. Did the flex pitch almost every day. Look at the Spanish. Yeah. Yo hablar un poquito español. Coño cabeza para inglés. Mucho peligroso ejercicio. Abdominales. So you see, my Spanish is pretty good, but it can be better. Studying. You see how much I study, right? That's why, I really like read these books. Working on content, time with my girlfriend, you know what it is. Change this one to average as opposed to percentage checked. You can do that. I average 3.5 hours a day. How do you spend so much time with your girlfriend? It's in the calendar, bro. That was step one, man. Catch up, motherfucker. And this is super important because now we have data. You get what I'm saying? Now we have data to make decisions on. Like, you can't go by how you feel about shit, right? Because your feelings can change from moment to moment. We got to really look at the data, and you got to run your life like a business. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do it. So we have real data and we can make decisions based off data. And that's how you can keep evolving. You can keep optimizing. I hope this is making sense. You know what else we use Notion for? So me and my girl, we set this up. We have a database of our favorite restaurants. And so we categorize them by city, what neighborhood they're in, the type of restaurants, what meals they serve, and then how much we liked it the price, the attire. So like anytime somebody asks us, hey, oh, was the music good? Did they have hookah? She's Dominican, you know. They love that shit. I saw a Dominican motherfucking, no bullshit. I saw a Dominican dude riding around Dykeman with the hookah in his car. Hot coals in the car. He ride around smoking hookah. Hey man, and the Dominican cops just let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't even care. But anyway, this is like super, this is the way we organize shit, you know. We got it. I can click this and I can see cities. So hey man, what's a good city in Chicago? We haven't really filled out the New York one yet because we started this when we moved to Miami, but we were just in Chicago. So all the restaurants we went in Chicago, we ranked them. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the Miami ones all up in. There's tons of them here in Miami. You let us know, man. We got to build this out. We a little behind because we were just in Vegas. But basically, every city, our plan is to have a database of the best restaurants in every city in America. Every real city. All right. We're not going to be in fucking Little Rock, Arkansas. All right. They don't get a fucking, they don't get their own tab. Okay. The next one is an app called Hours, where I track the hours I spend doing stuff, right? So I have a few things that are important to me, and I just track how much time I spend working on those things, right? Because to get good at something, well, to be an expert, they say it takes 10,000 hours, right? To become an expert in something. But I have another theory on this. I track the hours I spend on different things that I'm trying to get good at or things that are important to me, because you know, we have a whole episode about this, right? If it takes 10,000 hours to become like world class, one of the best in the world at something, you can get like pretty good at anything with like 1,000 hours. And here's a chart that'll show how long it'll take to get to each level of mastery based off how many hours you spend practicing each of these things per day, right? And there's a few things that I'm trying to get 1,000 hours of practicing, right? There's a few things I'm trying to get 1,000 hours of practicing, or at least 100, right? If you get 100, you're like not bad. You don't suck at the thing. Every few months, I try to master something else. Well, not master, but get really good at something else. Like good at something, right? Every few months, right? Or at least every year. This is how like I got good at so many things. Like people are like, Brandon, you're so good at public speaking. You know, you're good at making content. You're a fitness expert. I heard you used to build computers. Yeah, I build computers. I used to build websites, man. I play guitar really well. If you look up Brandon Carter guitar covers, I used to play guitar like really good, like badass. But it was all like tracking the hours I spend on it. And I use an app called Hours to do it. And just when I'm working on a thing, I just track it on my phone. Or when I'm studying. And in addition to that time being in my calendar too. So it's just an easy way to add it up. Then I'm not showing it now because it's charging. But the Oura ring, this is a tool I use because the Oura ring is so dope because it tracks my sleep automatically. When I showed you that chart of how many hours of sleep I got every night, you know, just because I'm in bed doesn't mean I'm asleep, right? Doesn't mean I actually feel asleep. So I track my sleep and the quality of my sleep every night, and Oura ring does that for me automatically. But it also tracks the amount of calories I burn each day, right? The Oura ring tracks the amount of calories that I burn each day. And if you're trying to get in shape, you kind of need that, right? Because everybody knows this. If you want to lose fat, it's calories in, calories out. You got to burn more calories than you consume. But how do you know how many calories you burn if you don't track it, right? I use the Oura ring in order to accomplish that. You could use the Apple Watch, but you know, man, listen, man, I upgraded my watch game to the Richard Mille. This don't track my calories. All this really does is flex on the haters, and it stunts on the hoe, right? But it does not track my calories the way the Apple Watch does. So that's why I went to the Oura ring. I don't have it on right now because it's charging. You have to charge it like once every few days, and I forgot to put it back on. But I wear that every day. It tracks the calories I burn and the quality of my sleep, and it's super important to have that data because now you can make decisions based off of it. But then the next thing you need is myfitnesspal. myfitnesspal is the app I use. I swear by it. You can ask me, pick any day over the last, I don't know, almost like 10 years. I'll tell you exactly how many calories I burnt, how much protein I got. I'll tell you all the macros for every day, how much I weighed that day, right? Because I track it all in myfitnesspal. And the beauty of this is when you track your calories, how much you consumed, the Oura ring's telling you how much you burned. Then you can just do some simple arithmetic and find out if you're in a caloric deficit or if you're in a caloric surplus. right? So if you're trying to lose 10 pounds, let's say you want to lose 10 pounds in the next 10 weeks. All right. Well, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. You got to burn 3,500 calories to burn a pound of fat. If you burn 500 calories a day, if you're in a caloric deficit where, let's say you consume 3,000 calories today, but you burn 3,500, you're in a 500 calorie deficit. You do that every day because you're tracking it. You got math. Boom. You're going to be burning a pound of fat a week. And you won't even have to guess if you're going to accomplish that goal of burning 10 pounds in 10 weeks. And if you want to burn more than that, if you want to get more aggressive, then adjust the numbers accordingly. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's all math. That's the thing. That's kind of what I'm getting at on this whole thing. Life is just math. It's really all math. But if you don't have the data, how can you make decisions? How can you make decisions if you don't have the data? It's all math. And if you want to change the outputs, the results you're getting, then change the inputs. But how do you manage the inputs if you're not tracking them? That's what this is all about, right? If you want to accomplish a goal, you're going to have to spend a certain amount of time on that goal, right? Well, how much time are you spending each day on each goal? I don't know. Well, you ain't going to accomplish shit, motherfucker. Definitely ain't going to accomplish shit like me, dumbass, right? The next thing you need, next tool to keep you more productive is an app I don't call it. It's an app called iMood Journal. And here's what this thing does. It's the only notification that goes off on my phone. And it just gives me a reminder to mark where my mood is on a scale of 1 to 10. And then it gives me an average for the week. So last week, you can't really see it, but my average was 7.9, right? Almost 8. It's having a good week. Last month, my average was 7.3. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. And you can see the data. And then if I have a really peak, I can mark in there what the peak was. And if I have a valley, I can mark in there what the valley was. Now, here's the thing. I've been doing this since before the iPhone was invented. I used to do it with paper because I have bipolar. I never taken any medication for it because I was able to manage it when I learned this. And nobody taught this to me. I just knew that tracking was important, right? So what I would do is I would take a sheet of paper. It was a little notebook, like them little moleskin notebooks, the really small ones that would fit in your pocket. I keep them in my back pocket, and I would just mark it from 1 to 10, and 10 being like how I imagine Drake felt when the Raptors won the NBA championship. 1 is like a guy with a bottle of Jack Daniels and a revolver trying to figure out if he's going to go to work this morning or not. And I would mark it from when I woke up to when I go to sleep. So just every hour of the day, I'm not going to draw that out for you, but blah, blah, blah. I'll just mark it every hour. And just every 2 hours, I'll set like a little alarm to just mark where I'm at, 1 through 5. What you'll notice is throughout the day, everyone's mood is changed throughout the day. You're going to experience a ton of emotions, right? Ups and downs throughout the day. That's why it's hard to like to say, oh, are you happy or not, right? I would just actually mark it, and then I would draw a graph. And every time there was a high or a peak, I would take note of that and try to figure out how I can replicate those results. And every time there was a low, I would take note of that and try to eliminate those results. This is how I stopped dating Puerto Ricans. Because of the lows. Hey, I can make that joke because I might be Puerto Rican, right? My dad was an orphan and he looked super Puerto Rican. Anyway, on some real shit, it's like there have been girls that I've stopped talking to or stopped dating because there would be too many lows or they were the cause of. What happens is you would get an average of these days and I would find out what my average was. And you would see, it would look like my baseline. So there's 2 types of states, right? The state of being. There's your momentary state and then there's your baseline state. You're going to have ups and downs, but you're going to go back to baseline normally, right? When you start to eliminate the lows, what happens is you start to change the baseline. And then over time, when I would eliminate the lows and try to replicate the highs, I would notice that, oh shit, my graph was higher. I had higher highs and higher lows. Still had lows, still experienced ups and downs, but what happened was my baseline would end up being higher. You get what I'm saying? And that's what you want. When people say, I want to be happy, the fuck does that mean? Do you mean that like, I just want to be happy? It's not all about the money. I just want to be happy. Fuck you mean, man? Do you mean you never want to experience a negative emotion again? You want your life to be an unbroken boulevard of green lights indefinitely? That's comically unrealistic. Every human is going to experience the full range of emotions. What you want is to, on average, experience more positive emotions than negative emotions. And then it's math. Everything is math. If it's super important for you to be happy, then you should track that shit. And I was doing this on paper until iMood Journal until the iPhone came out. Then there was an app called iMood Journal. It only costs like $2. I'm not affiliated with them. They should break me off some paper. They should, but whatever. If you do this, man, you'll get so much data on your feelings and the things that lower your state and the things that raise your state, things that make you feel good and things that make you feel bad. And it might not be what you think, but more importantly, you're able to make decisions based off data. Should I break up with this person? Hey, let's see the graph. How many lows are they causing versus how many highs are they causing? There's been times I've broken up with girls because of that. And immediately my average would go up on iMood Journal. I have data to show that I was happier as a result from not being around this woman. Or it'd be a woman who would make me feel better. Like my girlfriend, man. She's in the other room making me. We about to hit an 8 after this, 8, 9. After this, you know what I'm talking about? It's in the calendar. We about to hit some 9s and 10s this afternoon, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, this is all about data. You get what I'm saying? It's all about data. It's all math. Like success in life is all math. You guys want to make money? It's all math. Speaking of math, the last productivity tool you need is called mint.com. What you do is you link up all your accounts. Every account, business accounts, your checking accounts, your savings accounts, your investment accounts. You can put in all your assets, everything you own, and it'll show you in your credit. And it's basically like a database of your financial life. You can look at it every day, see how much you're spending versus how much you're getting. You're gonna have to go in every day. And what I do is I look at every transaction, money coming in and coming out, and I categorize it. It does some categorization for you, but I made up my own categories just so I can see it a little better. And it gives you graphs and it gives you data and it shows your net worth. So I can, every month I can watch my net worth climb as a result, right? And I can make decisions based off data. And that's what this is all about. It's like you have to make decisions based off data if you really want to take it to the next level. You can't be out here guessing. You can't be out here fucking around. You got to be super strategic in life. And if you start using these tools, I promise you, you'll be able to take your life to the next level. There's some other videos around here that will show you more about tracking and how I use it and how you can use it to improve your life. You're going to want to check those out right now.